Welcome to Three the Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, live on YouTube on the Tuesday. If you are here, leave a like on the stream over on YouTube. Of course, subscribe to the channel. We had a huge upswing last week with the subscribers, gained 10 subscribers last week, so we definitely appreciate it. 35 away from that 200 done, so make sure y'all keep subscribing to the channel. And of course, like the video, but also comment on the stream. We got 2 comments already. Shout out to Tyler from Fat Boy Fadeaway and TNB. Best basketball show going. Yes, sir. Appreciate
that.
And of course, we got Miss Sour Patch Candy. What up, Candy?
Sour Patch.
We already warned you ahead of time that we was gonna be late.
Boom.
But we here. We here. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got the coach on the sidelines, taking them to school on and off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, halfway there, man. How we feeling?
Man. I didn't expect that question right there, but I like it. I feel great, humbled, and I feel unrealistic at the same point, right? Like, I'm like, man, it's really been that many treatments thus far. And it's like, okay, there's really like a finish line. Like when you did the first one, the second one, like, oh my God, like I gotta get to 12. But yeah, like I said, man, halfway there, man. And like I said, ringing that bell come Memorial Day weekend. I'm actually gonna postpone it to the week after that. Just because I gotta get this pick line out. And that's when I want to say I'm officially done.
Facts. Well, we will be there, man. We ready for it.
Oh, we recording live.
Definitely, for sure. We also got your favorite DJ, Sample Man himself, Mr. Ted Shakir 2. What's good?
Hey, yo, Shakir, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say it.
I know. What's good, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Chilling, man. But for those who don't know, there in the intro of the Three the Hardaway podcast, there is a DJ tag that DJ Ted Shakir, who made the instrumental for us, and Sheedy was in the group chat earlier and didn't know what was being said on the tagline. So,
and he thought it was me.
He thought it was Tevin, which was, to me is crazy. I'm like, ain't no way that's Tevin at all.
Yeah. I gave a lot of random guesses, ladies and gentlemen, that are trying to ask about it. I was wrong on all of my guesses, like I usually am for trivia. And then Savage came to save the day, and then 2 was like, "Oh yeah, this is actually what it really is," and then call me dumb. Sorry, I'm just
in so many words. Petty. All right, speaking of trivia, man, 2, what you got this week, man?
Yes, sir. So we're gonna go with this one. So of course we know a lot of people know Allen Iverson for the practice, quote unquote, form that he had. You know what I'm saying? Press conference that he had. You know, we ain't got to go into the details of that because it's still BS, and you know how I feel about Allen Iverson. At the same time, we got. I'm gonna give 4 answers, and I want y'all to pick which one. How many times did Allen Iverson say the word practice in that entire press conference? I told you, we chilling today. We on some chill vibes today.
We chilling. What you mean? We chilling.
We chilling. No. So I'm gonna give 4 answers. All right, I'm gonna give 4 answers.
Okay.
Was it 26, 22, 30, or 28? Again, how many times did Allen Iverson say the word practice in his infamous press conference about practice?
Before 26, we answer,
22, 30, or 28?
The fact that all these answers are above 20 is crazy.
Hey, exactly. Like, even Candy's in the comments, she said 10.
Yeah. Oh, no, double that.
The way you sounded, it was like 30, 37, 38. 45, 47.
Damn it.
Come on, y'all. All about it, bro. All about the Benjamin.
Okay, what's the answer?
Sorry.
What's the answer?
So A, 26, B, 22, C, 30, D, 28.
I have no idea.
I'm going to go 26.
26.
All right, the correct answer is 22 times.
Oh. Still, north of 20 is crazy.
I didn't even realize this. I have to go back and watch the full video. 26 times. I thought it was like maybe like 15 at the most.
Yeah. I would never went over. 20.
Thank you, Candy. Tomatoes. Thank you, ma'am.
Funny trivia I found. I was like, man, this would be one for the laid back pod. So you know what I'm saying? Why not?
I'm gonna have to find the video and count myself because I don't
count
believe
yourself.
I don't
hey,
believe
just like I had to go and watch Space Jam and find out how many times Bugs Bunny scored. You got to do your own research sometimes.
The fact that you
and bring
did
it back
that.
to the masses. I did do that. I did. That's why Space Jam went from up here to down here, as far as like movie wise.
Ooh, okay.
So that was definitely when they do that little space. I think it was Space Jam and 2 other movies, or maybe 3 other movies. One had to go. You said Space Jam.
Yeah.
It was like Space Jam and what the movie was?
Coach Carter.
Coach Carter
and Like Mike.
Like Mike. Ooh, dang. Well, I was never a big fan of Space Jam anyway, so
yeah.
And here's my thing, like as a sample man, I do want to get into like, of course, sampling music. I can't sample R. Kelly music, so the soundtrack I can't even use that. So it's like,
damn.
Thank you, Space Jam, but Bugs Bunny didn't score. So
wow,
that's crazy.
What is that?
Speaking of scoring, LeBron James.
Hey,
LeBron James, he surpassed 40,000 points, which to me is still kind of crazy. Of course, we did talk about it when he surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record. LeBron James did end up scoring 40,000 points, which to me, I'm just trying to figure out, can anybody come close to that in the near future? Like 40,000 points. 20 years worth of scoring points, and he's not really, I mean, his whole career, he hasn't really been trying to score, but also part of it is the longevity aspect of it. 20 years with like the Cavs, the Heat, the Lakers, the Cavs again, of course. But do y'all think that anybody's gonna get close to 40K?
What's close? 30? 35?
I'm gonna say close is getting into like the top 3 all-time scoring, like to get behind get behind Kareem.
I can't remember who is now in 3rd place and how many points they have. That would be my
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
is it not Kobe? Is it not Kobe? I don't know. I'm looking it up.
Because Kobe, even though Kobe played a lot of years, he was injury prone towards the end.
Oh, so here it is. So it's number 1 is LeBron, number 2 is Kareem, number 3 is Karl Malone, and then number 4 is Kobe.
That.
5 is MJ.
What was Karl Malone's points?
Karl Malone is 36,000. So the question is, can anybody get 37,000 points?
Only if they count Luka's European League stats and his NBA stats. I don't, because I believe these stats are also encompassing of the playoff runs as well. And so to me, you're talking about someone who's been in the finals, 9-10 years?
So, yeah.
To go to the finals, ladies and gentlemen, which means you had to win at least 4, 8, 12 games to get there and score. To me, it's going to be very challenging to get there. And again, unless they add Luka's stats from the European League, I do not see that happening, especially now that they just came out with that little band of, we got to play at least 65 games or whatever. We'll see how this actually goes. But no, I don't. 36,000, no. Even with Steph, I know I saw the comment about Steph Curry's making threes. Also, Steph Curry was like 0 for 9 the other night.
Steph ain't even top 25 right now in all-time scoring.
Yeah.
So the only active players right now in the top 25 in scoring is LeBron James at 1, KD at 9, James Harden at 21, and Russell Westbrook at 25.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So no, I don't see. And the players that you just named are about to end of their playoff.
I can't see KD doing it because KD, he's sharing the rock with Devin Booker right now, and he ain't really just trying to score like that with Booker and Bill alongside him. So it's gonna be kind of tough for him.
Man, I'm over here just like, while y'all talking, just crunching numbers and doing all kind of is trying to make some kind of case that at least Kevin Durant can crack 30,000. I think 30,000 is possible for Kevin Durant.
You'll get 30,000, yeah, but 37.
36, 30.
37 gonna be tough, man. That's 10,000 extra points for him, about 9,000.
I'm trying to think because you also got to think of the fact that the 3-pointer has played much of a part. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of players, a lot of LeBron points didn't come from 3-pointers. They came from the inside. A lot of LeBron's points came from in the playoffs as well. So you also got to think about what players can we see staying healthy for 20 years, damn near. Which is maybe impossible. It may be impossible, and he's still going.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I was thinking maybe a Luka, maybe
Wemby? Wemby crazy right now. He hooping right now.
maybe he ain't even born yet.
Yeah, and to also add on to what you're saying too, 20 years as a starter.
Starter. Like
you can't be coming off the bench. Yeah, you can't be coming off the bench. No,
it's once in a lifetime, man.
Yeah,
and that
enjoy
time
it,
to
ladies and gentlemen.
And that time to the we talk about LeBron, even though he didn't win in the finals, he was still there. And those points still add up. So, like you said, the next player is going to have to be able to be in consecutive finals. It's going to be a lot. Shout out to LeBron, man.
That's straight up greatness, man. Like a lot of people hate on LeBron, myself included, for certain things, not for his game, but just things that comes with LeBron being on the team. But like 4,000 points is crazy. Like I remember playing like NBA Live 2004 or 5, and you would see like the all-time scoring records on the game. It's like, damn, nobody gonna pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Nobody passing Karl Malone and Jordan and Kobe got close, but LeBron, for him to be a walking triple-double to get to that point, it's just that's LeBron, man. And I think now you hear a lot about the GOAT discussion. It's like a legitimate discussion between LeBron and Michael Jordan, which I can see it for like younger kids, the kids that didn't get to watch Jordan that much. But LeBron, I mean, I'm not mad at the discussion is what I would say. I'm not mad at it because what he's done for the game has been amazing, man. So I can't get mad at the discussion, at minimum the discussion. So, but yeah, looking at this list one more time before we get to the next topic, the fact that Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Westbrook all play on the same team at one point is crazy to me. They all were on the same team at one point. Like the Thunder, we'll talk about them a little bit later in the podcast, but man, you had
$3 million. $3 million stopped them from being great. It's $3.
Crazy, man. That's crazy. But maybe they'll do something this year, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But before we get into that, I did want to discuss the Boston Celtics, right? And this sort of stemmed from them playing the Golden State Warriors the other day, which again, that's a modern dynasty, right? The score of that game was 140 to 88.
Hey, Shitty, you got to do all that, dog.
I was just doing the math in my head that came out. I'm usually muted. I'm sorry.
And of course, the Warriors not as good as they were in previous years. They've been playing good basketball lately. Like let's be real, they're playing good basketball lately. Kuminga's playing well, Wiggins is back. So on and so forth. But Boston been kicking ass and taking names pretty much all year. They have a sizable gap between 1 and 2 as far as like the home court advantage out east. And I just wanted to ask y'all, I mean, is Boston like for real right now? I mean, Jason Taylor's playing amazing. Jaylen Brown's playing amazing. Derek White is there. KP is there. Drew Holiday is there. Like they have a nice, well-constructed team. And I'm wondering, is this finally the year that they get over the hump of like running into somebody in the finals or run to like Jimmy Butler before you get to the finals? And I see Sheedy scratching his face right now. But I mean, I gotta admit that game was good, man. Like they from like 1 to about 9 or 10, which is all you need in the playoffs. This is a good team, man. So I just want to know what are y'all thoughts on Boston? Is this the year for Boston?
Boston made, to me, quite possibly some of the best deals for their team to get where they needed to get this upcoming year. With getting Drew Holiday, with getting KP. Am I taking them serious? I would think you would have to. You should have already been taking them serious. Let's be honest here. This team, regardless of what's happened this year, if we look at the history that they stand on, whatever you want to say, in these past 5-6 years, they have always been the measuring stick to get out of the East and make it to the finals. That's been them. And so to not have them as being taken serious is crazy. The question is going to be, if they make it out of the East, A, who are they playing in the West? And B, how did they get there? Now, let me say this real quick about Boston. It's crazy that the highest paid man in the NBA, not in Boston only, but in the NBA, is still the second fiddle on his team. And sometimes not the second fiddle, sometimes the third or fourth, if we're being completely honest about how this team has went this year. Drew Holiday, the surgeons, and how Derek White is doing. KP, I believe the only thing that will hurt the Celtics in the playoffs is injuries. If there's an injury to one of their starters, I don't know if Joe was ready to coach them to that level. Brad Stevens done an excellent job with the organization, by the way. Brad Stevens doesn't get enough credit. He might even need to be executive of the year if he hasn't been already. But he's been a great job with mastering the talent and getting the talent needed to let Joe make a run for the finals and win the 18th banner, whatever. So, yes, I would take them seriously. And like I said, it depends on how they got out and who they playing. Because stars align a certain way when it comes to these brackets in the playoffs. And, of course, we don't know until almost a day before the playoffs who matches up where. Only 3 through 6 are determined. Playing scenario has to be determined. And Boston's sitting at the 1 seed, which means they'll be the last team to know who they play, actually.
Yep. So I came into this season, saying, once Drew Holiday became a part of the team, that from top to bottom, this is the best roster in the NBA. And we just needed to see how they would gel, how they perform. And I love what I'm seeing. I didn't like the ass whooping that they gave my Warriors, but, it was something that needs to be done, especially since they beat them in the finals a couple of years ago. Kudos to Brad Stevens for, just acknowledging the talent that he had and figuring out where there can be upgrades. So now you go into this playoffs upgrading Marcus Smart into Drew Holiday, which I believe you two would agree it's an upgrade. You go from not having anybody that you can throw the ball down to in the paint to now you getting Porzingis averaging 20 and 10 doing his thing. So while that chemistry within that core is still there and that style of play, that grittiness on defense is still there, they're more polished on offense to the point where if they don't make it to the NBA finals, it's literally going to be their fault. Like, they have the talent, they have the roster. Joe Mazzulla is doing an excellent job, and I think the chemistry, even that part, plays a factor into it. So I think, like I said, from top to bottom, they're the best roster in the NBA, and they're performing like it. We just got to see them in the playoffs do it yet again because the core, they've been to the finals before. They still got that. They still got that taste in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? I think in the playoffs, we've had to question whether Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown was the best player, on the team. I think in the playoffs, for sure, Jason Tatum would show like this is still my team. So that'll be exciting for us to see for sure. But I think regardless, whoever they face in the first round, it should be a sweep outside of the Heat. Whoever they play in the second round outside of the Heat should be easy for them. Like I said, this should be easily one of the teams that should make it to the NBA Finals. And just the emergence of Derek White as well. People say he should have been an all-star, perfect role player for him. And again, Xavier Tillman, small piece, but it's still that puzzle piece that's like the perfect fit. So like top to bottom, 1 through 8, 1 through 9, the Celtics got the best roster in the NBA.
And before you go, Savage, I do want to say this about Jason. He's been on record to say this, that he believes KP is the missing piece like Powell was for Kobe with the Lakers. A strong comment to make when you have the highest paid player playing right next to you. But
you ain't gonna let that go.
Never gonna let it go. I didn't say it. That's why.
Hey, I understand, man. I mean, you can only feed back what they feeding to you. So it's like you said this, so I'm gonna go off what you said. So I ain't mad at that. So the entire theme of this episode was, like young players or young teams get into the playoffs and then going up against these experienced teams. Boston at one point, they're still a young team. I mean, Tatum and Brown still, they're not even like 27, I believe. Like they're nowhere near like the prime part of their career. But they have had so much, mileage and time in the playoffs that they're at the point now where it's like you are a ready-made team. Like, I'm looking at the past 5 years before this year. 18-19 lost in the conference semifinals to Milwaukee. 19-20 lost in the finals to the Miami Heat, conference finals to the Miami Heat. I'm sorry. 2021 lost in the first round to Brooklyn. I don't even remember that series. What happened? Was that KD? Was that KD that beat them in
It
the
would have
play?
to be because I can't name you who was there.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
So lost to KD and them in the first round. That's crazy. 21 and 22 lost to the Warriors, and then last year lost to Miami in the conference final. So this team has been through some battles. They've had some experience with taking their Knicks, and like this year, I think it has to be the year where Boston comes out and win. You know, I was thinking about that this past week. I'm like, damn, it's time for them to win because the pieces are aligning. Brad Stevens has moved up to the front office. You got Joe Mazzulla, who has experience now. He ain't Ime Udoka, but you also see that they have the best record in the Eastern Conference. So he is a good coach to some extent. I know people laughed about firing him. I'm like, no, it's his first year. Give him a chance to grow with the team. And like right now, I'm looking at the score against Cleveland. They up by 10 against the second seed in the East in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So they're playing good basketball, and now it's a matter of just capitalizing on what they can do. So I know prior to the season, I had Milwaukee coming out the East. Of course, those things changed with Doc Rivers being hired, but I'm like,
anything possible.
Anything possible. I'm on Milwaukee on like a 6-game win streak. I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Right.
You don't?
I don't. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not buying it yet.
I ain't buying that because right now I know that Miami is currently in the play-in, and them niggas gonna be like, "Oh, Milwaukee right there, give us that 7 seed.
Smell it.
We'll win that. We'll win that game right there." So yeah, I'm in on Boston, man. I wasn't as much in terms of like them being a favorite to win it compared to like other teams like in the Western Conference, but I'm with it. I can rock with it, man. I can rock with it. That ass whooping I saw against Golden State, my God. I'm sorry, too. Did you watch that game at all? You see that game at all?
You was DJing.
I was DJing. I actually was DJing. But I did look on ESPN. I'm like, hold on, what?
Yeah,
is this 2K and they playing on Ricky or something, bro?
Man, they posted like they posted like a video, I think today, of those just them perpetually getting buckets against the Warriors, man. I gotta find that joint and repost it, but they just post it was like a constant them just getting buckets nonstop. It like recycled the video over and over and over again. It's very good social media marketing.
I just really thought of a question, and we can I guess talk about it real quickly.
Yeah.
You keep bringing up, Jaylen Brown being the highest paid player in the league or about to be whatever, blah blah blah. Should the best player in the NBA be the highest paid player?
Yes.
Because at one point, Mike Conley, we knew how much he meant to Memphis. Never was an all-star, but at one point he was the highest paid player in the league.
Yeah, so, I believe, especially with how the incentives go now and how to pay players, yes, I do believe the best player in the NBA should be the highest paid player. Now, that happened prior to the CBA coming with these new rules, right? But like to get max money now, you have to be part of all NBA. You have to be all-stars. You have to do all this other stuff. So, yes, I do believe that he should be. Like Patrick Mahomes, his contract is through the roof. $500 million over 10 years, I think it was, something like that, something crazy. Yeah. And yes, and we can all. You don't bet against who? Pat Mahomes. That's our slogan. So yeah.
And then Pat took a pay cut to help spread the money out, and now the Chiefs got a lot more cap space. So it's kind of hard. I guess you can still be the best player and not be the most paid player because you need X, Y, and Z around you in order to make stuff pop. But I mean, also you got those endorsement deals, like you got shoe deals, beverage deals to kind of compensate for not being the highest paid player in the NBA. If anything, it makes more sense to overpay for your role players because they're not getting endorsements otherwise. I mean, Jaylen Brown, great guy, but he ain't getting no shoe deal. Mike Conley, great guy. He's with Jordan. He ain't getting no Jordan, no signature shoe. That ain't happening. So it probably makes more sense to do it that way because you're getting way more money outside of that. I mean, right now, Bane for the Grizzlies, highest paid player on the team, but he ain't Ja Morant. He ain't got his own personal shoe. He ain't got Powerade money. He ain't got none of that stuff. So makes sense that way. All right, so we gonna get into the young teams. I know this says young teams out west, but we can discuss the East as well too. But well, actually, Sheedy, go ahead and talk about the East, man. I know you had something to say about the Eastern Conference playoffs right now. So go ahead,
chime in. As y'all all know, I rep the Heat. There's nothing new about that. Been doing it since '99, dog. And and this is pre D Wade, all that stuff. So I don't want to hear all that about everybody. I was there. Jeff Teague, what you said was blasphemy as well.
Oh my God. That's
straight blasphemy just because James Harden made it to the Western Conference Finals, I believe once, to be honest, and lost being up 3-2 to the Warriors at home and was not there in Game 7. However, when I look back at my stats about D Wade, even though he doesn't have a regular season MVP that he was robbed, I'm pretty sure D Wade should have when it was time for Game 7s. But I digress there. And so what I will say is right now, gentlemen, our standings in the East are 7 through 10. You have the Miami Heat that are one game ahead. 7 is Miami Heat, 8 is the Pacers, 9 is the Bulls, 10 is the Hawks. And you also have, I'll throw a little flavor in there, to be honest. 3 through 6, let me take that back. 4 through 8, can be interchangeable before the season is over. Yep. The New York Knicks and Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, not sure how long Jalen Brunson may or may not be down. Yeah. The 76ers shouldn't even be on live TV anymore. There's no Joel.
Tobias played good, man. He played good the other day. Hold on now.
Yeah, what was that question about? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You asked that random ass question on Twitter. I'm like, do Philly fans really hate when Tobias have a good game?
Yes. So y'all know I'm an Eagles fan, so I see residual Sixers stuff. And like, no kidding, they hate when Tobias Harris has good games. They hate it because he only does like once every blue moon. So it'll be like 5 straight Tobias Harris bad games, and then it'll be one good game. And like, where the hell this been all season? They get pissed. So they are more mad at Tobias having good games than Ben Simmons not shooting threes. Not even kidding. Not even kidding, bro.
So now I look, you got to retract what I just said because Tobias Harris is the highest paid player on the 76ers, and he's not the best player. Wow. But anyway, so I'll just tell you the East standings are there. Heat, Pacers, Bulls, Hawks. To me, it stays in that order for the play-in scenario. I think the Heat would go all in to win that game, so that it would match up as it will stand right now with Milwaukee Bucks at 2, and then I would have the Pacers match up with the Celtics, which I think will be a better series than what people perceive it to be, because Rick Carlisle's got a lot of great coaching experience. Pascal Siakam is a winning person in the playoffs, won a championship ring, and their rotation is pretty short for the Pacers, and I think that will help out. But anyways, regardless, if the season were to end today, the Miami are exactly where we want to be, because we play the Bucks. We get rid of them in I'll give you 6. Get rid of y'all in 6. But you see, we wouldn't play the number ones. I've always said this, right? We don't get to play the Celtics until the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep, very end. Every time.
So yes.
Miami Mafia too. It's Miami Mafia.
Yeah, I gotta have it. So I would not see, even if I don't even care if the Bulls or Hawks won their game. I really wouldn't even care who showed up to play the Pacers. I really wouldn't even care. They get run off the floor with the Pacers for the 8th seed. So I don't see there being a challenge. Like I said, the only thing is now, I mean, we're talking about this now as if the season were to end. The East is going to be very interchangeable. Like the West will be very interchangeable too when we get there. But there's going to be a lot of changes in the East very, very soon. So that's all I had to say about the East, to be honest.
Okay. Because I was like, out East, I don't really feel they don't really have a young team, quote unquote, aside from like Orlando, who, I mean, I think they're not ready this year, but I mean, we ain't gonna deny Mr. Banchero, ladies and gentlemen.
We can.
25, 6-6. We ain't, and he's just 20 years old, 6'10", 250. Nah. So I asked y'all before. I said Ant-Man and Paolo, I asked y'all before. I know Ant-Man number 2 right now, number 1, number 2 out west, but
Gotcha.
The Magic need Paolo to score more than the Timberwolves need Ant to score.
That's facts.
So
That's facts.
you know. Nah, man.
I mean, you need the Wagners to score, to be honest. Both of them.
Bronze, yeah. but Paolo, I mean, as far as like the young team out east, I don't think they're gonna win. Because they be playing the. Actually, I don't know. They're playing the Cavs right now.
Yeah, they play the Cavs right now. That's.
I don't know. Because Mobley been struggling this year. He been struggling on offense and defense. Which is why I was like earlier in the season, I'm like, do you want to move one of those bigs to get better? I don't know. But yeah, I really want to go out west. That's where I really want to be, is in the Western Conference. So let's go.
Come on out here to Phoenix, then, brother. We here ready for you, man.
Speaking of
All-Star game 2027. All-Star 2027.
Speaking of Phoenix, that's what I wanted to mention. Like All-Star game 2027. I saw a post that said Phoenix is like number 2 on destinations to move. I'm like, do I need to move out to Phoenix with 2? Look, we need to go out there out west.
I see it. Oh man, it's not just in basketball, bro. I just be on the life.
Man,
Kevin Durant follow me out here. Chris Paul follow me out here. You know what I'm saying? Thaddeus Young, shout out to Thaddeus. He done follow me out here now.
Yeah, I know Thaddeus out there.
Yeah, he out here now.
Damn, this man getting Memphis people out there now, man. Damn. All right, but yeah, out west, man. We talked about the Thunder earlier with Harden, KD, and Russell Westbrook. And the good thing about this podcast with you two gentlemen is that I get to learn about more basketball stuff, right? So last year, y'all told me about the Lakers. Y'all was on the Lakers train. I remember this. And so I peep game. You know, I learn from my mistakes. I am a humble podcast host. If I mess up, I'm like, hey, my bad, hands up. I should have known better, which I did last year. I should have known better about the Lakers. And so I peep game now. I'm like, oh, last night, the Lakers put a whooping on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Chet Holmgren is technically a rookie going up against Anthony Davis, who he might be bad. He's the anti Tobias Harris, where he'll have 3 good games and then he'll have 1 bad game in between that. But when AD is on, he's 20 and 15, 5 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals. And so I'm thinking right now the Lakers could be in a position to play the OKC Thunder in a playoff series. And I saw the shit last year with the Lakers and the Grizzlies, a young team going up against LeBron James, going up against Anthony Davis, your boy Austin Reeves, who still ain't him, but he made some big shots last night. They just brought in Dinwiddie, Tukes guy, as a 6th, 7th type man. D'Angelo Russell getting the ball back from LeBron. LeBron said, go score on that nigga. And I'd be damn, he scored on that man. So I'm thinking like, the Lakers, if they match up with the Thunder or against the Minnesota Timberwolves, because I mean, they still got Rudy Gobert, who's known to get played off the court, depending on who they playing. And Trevor said it on LBR the other day. He said both 1 and 2 seed are losing. I don't know if he said first round, but I mean, right now in the play-in out west, you got Sacramento, you got Dallas, you got the Lakers, and you got the Warriors. All 4 of those teams are playoff tested to some degree. Minnesota got a little bit of playoff experience, but I don't trust them more than, say, LeBron and AD, or even like Steph, Clay, Draymond, and all those people down there. I could see them getting past like Sacramento or like a Dallas, but even then, Luka in the playoffs, Luka been to a West Conference Finals before. He done been there before against, I think it was it Phoenix that year? I can't remember. But yeah, so I do not trust the Timberwolves. I do not trust the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I just want y'all's expert opinion about primarily the Lakers and the Warriors, maybe a little bit with Luka and the Mavericks with Kyrie, and even the Kings to some extent. But y'all tell me, am I tripping or am I on to something? Y'all tell me, Lakers fans, the Lakers train. Y'all let me know.
You're not tripping. As far as the Lakers go, I think any of the top teams, shout out to you, Antoine, I appreciate it. Any of the top teams should be scared of one team, and that team is the Lakers. Because of what LeBron and Anthony Davis can and will do in the playoffs. You know, last year we saw them, get swept by the Nuggets, but again, the Nuggets, they were playing incredible basketball. Yeah, the Nuggets could damn near run through everybody again this season if they wanted to in the West. So I think because they weren't able to get anybody, in the trade deadline, they also didn't give anybody away. So with D'Lo taking that next step, hopefully in the playoffs, I think that'll help them later down the line. But you talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert, how much time would he play in the game? Cat, what you gonna do? So I think that's gonna be and y'all mentioned the coaching, Chris Finch coaching a couple of times already in previous pods. That may be an issue for the Timberwolves. I think my case with the Thunder was they're young. Shea he's been waiting for his moment to put his stamp on the league, just like Ja did a few years ago. And just the OKC were more of a complete, I guess, in a way, team because they know what they're doing. And with Shaq coming in, which is a perfect piece, Jalen Williams turning up, and Shea still being Shea, that could be a team that can beat anybody in those 7, 8, 9, 10 outside of maybe the Lakers. Because for sure what we saw last night, and I think their record already is 3-1 against the Thunder anyway. That counts for something. That counts for something already. And we know shit. If you really want to be real, the OKC Thunder gonna go as far as Chet Holmgren take them. And I know it's unfair to put that kind of expectations on a rookie, but you talking to somebody who saw Chet go against Jalen Duren in college, and Jalen Duren outplayed him, and they had to get Jalen Duren in foul trouble in order for Chet to start turning up. Is that weakness factor to where AD will eat? Pause, but he literally would eat up Chet Holmgren in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So outside of the Lakers, the Warriors,
they're playing good right now. I mean, aside from that loss to the Boston, they've been playing good basketball. Chris Paul is figuring it out.
I was about to say Chris Paul is not getting back too.
The people that I'm worried about on the Warriors going forward is Steve Kerr. My eyes something on Steve Kerr, and whenever I say my eye on you, something, I don't know what it is. And
so what are you looking at? Because he put Klay Thompson on the bench, and Klay Thompson has been hooping lately. So I'm like,
yeah, but you can't go in the playoffs starting Petaminsky and all the you can't in Moses Moody. You can't be doing no experimental shit in the playoffs, dog. You need to stick to what you got, what got you there. What's got you there is gonna produce for you. Hopefully, but we'll see. But it's going to be up to Steve Kerr to still put that lineup out there and adjust going forward. Because Kuminga's turning up his too. Maybe you need to have the Steph, Clay, Kuminga, Dre, and whoever center going forward. But we don't need to be starting on Moses Moody or no Petaminsky in the playoffs. Nah. So Steve Kerr, my eyes on him.
Would you trust if it's Golden State versus Minnesota? Who would you pick in that series? Right, like today, right now. Not holding you accountable for this later on, but like right now.
Right now, I would pick the Warriors based on experience and the fact that they would start Draymond, which would make Rudy Gobert inexpendable.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna feed Steph to the point where like shoot, Clay, shoot. Mm-hmm. They'll outshoot the hell out the Timberwolves. So that should be their number one factor. Is like they don't want to play the Warriors.
Mm-hmm. They damn near might at this rate.
But I don't know, man.
Yeah, and we can get into this after I talk or after you talk, Savage.
Okay.
So I want to answer the question: can one of these young teams make it to the finals and win the championship? Is that the question right now?
Not the question that I was asking, but I would love to know what you think about that.
Yeah, and so did we really see? And I can't really recall my time like back, when the Warriors won their first championship, but I mean they had arguably a great shooter, but we didn't know how great of a shooter those Splash Brothers were going to be into the playoffs and do what they did. So at some point or another, they got it, right? They got it together. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to continue to stand on what I've said. I hate saying that because I feel like everybody says I'm going to stand on business.
Stand on business.
Yeah, I'm cool. I want to continue to tell everyone that I do not believe either one of those teams is coming out the West, and it will be the Clippers. I'm not going to move away from that. Especially if the Clippers and Celtics match up, that's kind of what we want to see, like older forwards against the younger forwards, so to speak. Yeah. Even though they're not really young, right? You just talked about how many, series they've had as well. Mm-hmm. I do not believe this is the season to me that I believe the Timberwolves and Thunder both make it past at least the first round. They have to. Why do they have to, Sheedy? Because what I saw and what we observed from Anthony Edwards over the summer and even into this season is kind of like a I don't give a fuck attitude, to be honest. And he's had times where he's taken over the games, not even on offense, but on defense. He's also challenged himself to be more of a defender. I agree that Rudy Gobert will probably get his ass played out of a playoff game and or series. I completely understand that, and I agree with that. And I agree that Naz Reid is a great replacement for him, and I called him the X factor for the Timberwolves. Last season, the team that gave the most effort, the most fight, the team that the champions were the most scared of was not the Heat, was not the Lakers. It was actually the Timberwolves. Came directly from the horse's mouth.
That's true. Yep.
Horse's mouth. You get it? All right. But
that's true.
And so I see them propelling and taking another step forward. They're not going to play the Nuggets in the first round. Ain't going to happen. And so to me, you have to get over this hump as a Timberwolves. You have to get there and move on. And so I'll leave that alone with the Timberwolves. With the Thunder, and I hope that after this we can get into like, okay, let's look at the play-in and then see how the teams match up like that, right? And who we believe will be 7 or 8 seed. With the Thunder, I also believe SGA was All NBA, first team I think last season, or was a part of All NBA last season. He's surely going to be around their first or second team this season. You can't become or stay consistent as an All-NBA player and not make it out of the playoffs. At some point, that has to factor in, even at the All-NBA rankings, what have you, but it has to sit on you. He can score 30 smooth, but I think they're going to need about 25, 26. I got Lou Dort is going to have to become more of a defensive specialist for them, who's played himself off the court a few times too, by the way. And the J Wills, the double J Will brothers, they're going to have to do something. Their problem is going to be their matchup as well. Because to y'all's point that you brought up, it's bully ball in the paint with Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren he ain't got the meat on him like that. And he ain't got the muscle. Okay. Now do they bring in I think they sound like Mike Muscala, Eminem. And I'm not talking from 8 Mile recently to help with that back line, with that front line, excuse me. So how much time does he get? Does Chet Holmgren also get played out of the playoffs? And what does that lineup look like? Because if you take Chet Holmgren out of the equation, because
if he ain't playing, I can't. I would not buy. I would not buy OKC Thunder at all. But they need his shot blocking.
Yeah, but the fact that he can shoot though, he wouldn't get played out though.
Yeah. Because Rudy Gobert got played out because he can't.
He just can't shoot it.
Right.
He can't do a thing. So again, and we'll talk about the matchups here in a second. That's on Bismarck. I know they got going Hayward. All right.
Busy Bone.
From
Bismarck.
Yeah, Busy Bone, bro.
No idea. So who? Yeah, it's really going to come down to matchups for both teams. And I'm still going to continue to say that I believe that both of these teams need to make a stand this playoffs and get out of the first round. If they don't, I might have to mute all Grizz Twitter because all they're going to say is Ja got out of the first round in his second season or third season, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Y'all right. It's always, what has SGA done in the playoffs? I get it. You're right.
If y'all want to see some grade A hating,
woo,
man, I cannot wait to see the SGA. If they lose in the first round, oh my God. Yes. Grizz fans, Ja fans, it's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. On
they lose in the first round or even get swept in the second. If they make it to the second round and get swept, I still don't believe that he'll. Never mind, Grizz, y'all handle.
Because I don't hate SGA at all. I just gotta see it from him. I'm ready to see it from him in the playoffs. That's where I'm at right now. Because I was looking earlier, the Thunder hadn't been in the playoffs since the bubble when they had Chris Paul, and a lot has happened between Chris Paul being with them on the Thunder and where we are today. You know what I'm saying? That's 3 years of not being in the playoffs. They're very clearly going to make it this year. But all of that means is that there is not that much playoff experience on this young Thunder team at all. Both Jay Williams are not having no experience. Chet is a rookie. I mean, you brought in Gordon Hayward, but he ain't doing nothing. He ain't playing like that. Biyombo's not doing nothing. You mentioned Mike Muscala. I ain't know they even got in Mike Muscala. He ain't doing nothing. So you basically got players that if you put them in a game against a series against the Lakers and LeBron is downloading your whole game plan, what are you gonna do? Coach, what's the coach name? Dagenalt, whatever his name, I forget his name. Coach D. Like, what are you gonna do against? I know you're going against Darvingham, who has his own transgressions as a coach, but you still got LeBron James processing information against you. All he needs is like 1 or 2 games, and he got you for 2 weeks to figure out what the hell you're doing. It's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna be a wrap for Oklahoma City. At least in that regard. So I'm not big on OKC. I personally, you mentioned this earlier about Ant-Man. In the summertime, who his coach was Steve Kerr. I am begging the universe to give me the Timberwolves versus the Warriors. I am begging. I just want to see what Ant-Man gonna do against Steve Kerr. I just want to see what's gonna happen. Because if he gets Steve Kerr across from him, it's gonna be, oh my God. But at the same time, it's
you love being petty. You love petty ball.
What you mean?
You are a savage. You your last name, dog. That's just messed up.
I told y'all a while ago. I need Adam Silver to tap into his Vince McMahon. Give me the storyline of Ant-Man versus Steve Kerr. I need that. I need Ant-Man talking shit post game, pre game, during the game. I need that, man. So yes, I am petty in that regard. I am petty. Kansas, she blocking everybody on social media if it gets to SGA.
Oh, we know.
But yeah, man. Let me see what else. So you mentioned the play-in, Sheedy. Right now, it is in the East. I mean, I feel like the East don't matter aside from Miami because Indiana. I'm disappointed in Indiana, man. I haven't watched Indiana because I've had time to watch them personally. But for them to go from like where they were prior, like, I guess right around when Halliburton got hurt,
pre-injury,
and then up until they got Siakam, I thought that Siakam was going to work well for them, but. I mean, for them to be they're 5-5 the last 10 games, 2-game losing streak. I mean, we knew they ain't playing no defense, but my God, man, how y'all falling this quick and you behind a team like the Magic in the hurt Sixers, man? Like, it's crazy. But it's 7 and 8 right now. It's Miami and Indiana. I mean, I think it's safe to say we all would pick Miami in that scenario.
As long as the Bucks, it doesn't matter who's the 2 seed. Yes.
He said yes. So basically, it depends on where Milwaukee is. What you saying?
No, because I believe we could be, if the Cavs are sent back to number 2, I believe we can beat the Cavs in the first round series. So I don't care who it is in the second round. I mean, who's in the second seed.
I hate that for me because I want to be analytical in terms of like basketball, but it's like I have to trust Sheedy's judgment as a Miami Heat fan. I can't. There's no analysis for that. He literally said it last year, and that's exactly what happened. So who am I? Who am I to even to question his judgment? All right, and then Chicago and Atlanta, and I guess your boy Trae Young is hurt. He on podcast now with Taylor Brooks now. So I don't know if he's gonna play again.
Nah, it's so weird.
Not playing again
this year anyway. Because I mean, he ain't. Look, the pass first ball haul ain't playing again this year, man.
Yeah. What do they have to play for? Like, what are they going to do? Like,
exactly.
So, give me the Zach LaVine Bulls,
and then they will play the Pacers. I think the Pacers would get past the Bulls. I think. I hope in that regard. And then out west, you get right now, really, like you said, Sheedy, from about 5 to about 10 can be interchangeable because I don't know the Pelicans schedule. Or the Suns' schedule. I have to assume that the Suns are going to stay in the top 6. They've been losing a lot lately, too. But right now, it's Sacramento and Dallas right now. I think I would pick Dallas in that scenario over Sacramento because I think that Luka and Kyrie would just be much better than what the Kings would have to offer. And so that would be Dallas versus OKC. I still would pick Dallas over OKC. Honestly.
I pick OKC
over Kyrie and Luka.
because you're going to be. I'm looking for SGA to make that statement, and if it's any team outside of the Kings to make that statement against, it'll be quote unquote one of the best players, in Kyrie and Luka. And I think that matchup for Chet will be a little bit better too. So I'd be willing to trust OKC with that one. Then I think they have a better 1 through 7 than the Mavericks do.
Okay. And if it's the Kings, then so you said the Kings will beat them?
I got Thunder over Kings. Thunder over Kings.
Okay. Okay. That's curious to hear from you.
You're not stopping Shea, and that's gonna be the matchup. The better you stop Shea, the better your chances of winning. Kings won't be able to do that for sure.
So you telling me
they saying that the Kings won't be able to do it, right?
Yeah, the Mavericks won't either.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Mavericks. You're banking on them outscoring them.
I'm curious as to why you don't think Kyrie and Luka would dominate whoever OKC get.
So if you look at something that's very key to me, right? And we all pulled up the WNBA, sorry y'all, ESPN standards, right? And you look at the point differential. If you look at the Dallas Mavericks, they're not even winning games averaged by a point. So that means most of the games that they're winning are close.
Right, yeah.
Do I really want to trust Luka and Kyrie one ball, one decision? Because it's obviously not working.
I kind of would with Luka.
But it's not working in a regular season, is what I'm saying. Okay, see, we know Shea, get him the ball, get the hell out the way. Luka, Kyrie, is it going to be me watching Kyrie in a corner again while Luka try to work his Luka magic? Like, what are we going to see in late game execution? Because, like I said, apparently by the numbers, the Mavericks, they keep games close, apparently. While if you look at the Thunder, they know who they are, they know what they got, and the numbers say for sure they know how to beat teams up. And they got the best point differential in the West just the West. Yeah, in the West. So they know how to win together, as young as they are.
Yeah, but how much of that possibly, and I don't know the facts behind this, but how much of that possibly could be that we're playing these players deep into the game and running up our stats, a la, no offense, shitty Dallas Cowboys, where they kept players in, they scoring their ass off, and that kind of skewed the point differential to where you think that a team is this good, but really it's like, nah, we just running up our stats against a team. Whereas like Dallas, with Dallas Mavericks, I mean, it's kind of ironic with Dallas.
Yes.
Right.
With the Mavericks, they're in a tight game, and it's like you're still 34-27. You still got a winning record, and you win these tight games. How much of that is important for in the playoffs where the games are gonna be tight? In theory, it won't be as many because you're talking about the game gonna slow down, a lot more free throws, which Luka is a foul merchant. Then again, SGA a known foul merchant as well too, but. I mean, you would think that the close differential in the tight games would yield for like you're better prepared for those types of games in the postseason. You know what I'm saying? Compared to the Thunder, who were like blowing teams out, and they're a young team as well.
We brought them up in the pod earlier. Tobias Harris just had 28 against the Mavericks. If we talk about defense,
look, man, Tobias Harris good for one every now and then. Now.
But it had to be here. That's what I'm saying. We talk about offense, but defense gonna have to play a factor at some point in the playoffs. And I trust OKC way more defensively than I do the Mavericks right now.
Okay.
28 points is a lot, especially from Tobias Harris. It's like 50.
Well, Tobias Harris his hand kind of forced right now because I mean you had Joel Embiid obviously and Maxey. He had some kind of injury as well too. So he kind of
Maxey played.
He played. I thought he was kind of nicked up a little bit.
My boy Kelly Oubre had 21 that day. So that's what I'm saying. Like defense is gonna be the Mavericks' issue. It's gonna be a gunfight. I trust OKC more.
Can't say
you look like that.
2 foul persons on cutting TV. I'm telling y'all, Luka had about. You talked about Kevin Martin last week on 1 shot and 20 points. That's gonna be Luka and Shea in the playoffs. For real.
Yeah, definitely.
First of all, I'm not letting you bypass that Tobias Harris' hand was forced. The only thing that forced his hand was signing that check for 4 years, 140 million, whatever he did, like 160 million for 4 years, over 160 million, 40 million this season. That was the only time his hand.
It didn't take that much force.
I'm like, you gotta force my hand. Where I sign
He-
it?
Right, exactly.
No resistance. No.
I might sign it left-handed today.
Right, look, Jelly Brown.
Say do both. Yeah. Look, y'all need a thumbprint too. Look.
The only time his hand was
Get an eye
forced.
scan. Look, scan
Yeah, no resistance force. Hell no.
Right. But all right. And walk with me down this path real quick with me. Let's say, gentlemen, and this goes into what we're talking about. If the season were to stop right now, 7-8 is would be what? I'm sorry, the
Kings and Mavericks. The matchup anyway.
Right.
Play in.
And so what I'm hearing is, Savage, you're taking both of y'all taking the Mavericks
to beat the Kings. Yes. I would. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mavericks over Kings. Okay, yeah, I'll take that.
I ironically am going to say like the B. My reasoning behind that is the only way that would happen is, and I hope Mike Brown knows this as a coach, and Jason Kidd is a great coach as well. You can't keep Sabonis out for longer than, I don't know, 10 to 12 minutes in that game for that playing scenario to occur and be effective for them to move forward. And when Sabonis is in the game, they're a much better team than what Trey Lyles is manning the post. Or I don't even know if we've had a JaVale McGee sighting for the Kings. But anyways, regardless, De'Aaron Fox is coming back. I think that for me, I think like the Beam wins that game. That's me. But I'll go with the majority and say, okay, Mavericks win, right? So Mavericks playing what? The Thunder. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. You got two people that get their points real slow and smooth. And Oklahoma City gets more home games, which I think actually plays a factor, especially for their role players who are very new to this. Mm-hmm. Again, I got to go back to what I just said earlier in this podcast. The Thunder would win this series. They would win it. Now, how many games? I don't know. 7 for sure, because Kyrie Irving and Luka will keep them in points wise. But then who stops SG on the opposite end? Because it really, I guess, it's a wash. And then I think a few players can also fill the void of what Kyrie Irving can do for the Mavericks, such as the Thunder. And so I'll take the Thunder. My question now to you all is, okay, let's look at 9-10. If the season were to stop right now, we wouldn't see either LeBron or Steph Curry try to be in the playoffs. So my question to you, I'll start with Savage and go to 2. Who wins that game? And that game would be at Crypto.
This is, man. I feel like I would have to pick the Lakers because it's gonna be at Crypto. LeBron is LeBron. AD's been playing well, and even the role players around them have played well lately. You know, just I'm looking at Austin Reeves and D'Lo and Dinwiddie and all these other guys. Like, I would have to pick them because they are they play the more seasoned players, to Tuke's point earlier about Pods and Moody and these other guys that are getting playing time. They are actually starting compared to the Lakers, who, I mean, you got LeBron James, and who is the tipping point for them. Of course, you got Steph, who's playing well, but how much do I trust Clay to step up consistently when he hasn't really done that for the entire year? He's done it lately, but not for the entire year. LeBron James is, I think, shooting a better 3-point percentage than Steph Curry right now, which is crazy to say. Like 41% from 3, that's like the best of his career. And so I would have to roll with the Lakers in that scenario. But I think that they're going to be higher than that 9th spot by the end of the year. But for right now, I'll roll the Lakers.
Agree.
Commandment 3. If a player shows us who they are, we gotta believe them.
Gotta believe them.
If LeBron has showed us time and time again that he is the Warriors killer, then goddamn it, he's the Warriors killer. That is why Kevin Durant came and joined the Warriors, and they won 2 times. I ain't got to go all into it. But even if you look at when the Warriors won the championship against the Celtics, literally same team, following season, went against LeBron and the Lakers, and it was no match. There were no match. Like, Lakers, get them off the court. Like, easy. So, again, like, in that matchup, I can't trust this Warriors team that don't even know who they're going to be starting in the playoffs versus a LeBron team that's like, all right, y'all, we know what we got. Let's do what we can do. Let's turn up. I done seen it time and time when LeBron beat the Warriors, bro. Ain't nothing new to my book. Sorry, Dubs fans, but yeah, we get our asses whipped by LeBron time and time again. Ain't gonna be nothing new.
Yeah, and in this scenario, one game scenario, I also will give it to the Lakers. We mentioned LeBron. I think this is AD. You know, you have to win this game, and I think that will be enough intrinsic motivation for him to come out, right, and be a great player. So that would thus leave us with the Lakers playing the Kings in crypto.
Oh, Lakers, easy next, because the Kings have no interior defense. Saw that shit last year against the Warriors. No, and they ain't stopping AD. Who? Sabonis? Nah.
Next.
Not. It's absolutely not.
Next.
My only draw about this, y'all know I'm a LeBron fan. I'm Lakers. My only draw to this argument is this up and down BS that the Lakers have been proving this season.
Mm-hmm.
In the fact that, to your point, they should really squash the Kings. They should, well, I'm not going to say squash, but they should win the game, even if it's in Sacramento. However, what they've proven this regular season is that they play a little bit lesser, especially teams that they don't believe in as often or as great. I think they're going to put a lot more, they will put more stock into the Warriors game than with the Kings game, is what I'm saying. But again, I'll go with the majority, Lakers. So that will have the Lakers then playing then the Thunder. Nope, sorry, the
Timberwolves.
Oh my.
Woo.
Ooh. And with that,
you ain't ready, young buck. And I love you. And I love you, but you ain't ready, young buck. You ain't ready. I love you, Ant.
In this series, do you think Rudy Gobert would get played out of his place? Because AD will play a lot more.
I don't know if Gobert would get played off because they don't really have like a stretch big. I mean, unless you like putting in Rui at the 4 or Torian Prince not down shot as well too. But like AD, he's not shooting 3 as much as he used to, like in the bubble series. So the only way that he would get played off is, well, actually I don't know, because if Rudy Gobert is not on the court, I don't know if I trust anybody else to guard AD. At least not necessarily guard, because can't nobody guard AD when he on. But like, Cat not gonna play defense. No, Cat not doing it. Nas Reed, nice story.
Nas Reed ain't that.
Nah, it ain't happening. So I would have to see how the Lakers pull Rudy Gobert out of the paint. If you're gonna do like a high pick and roll with like whoever, the D'Lo or Dinwiddie, whoever is the primary ball handler with AD, you setting the screen for the guards man, and you forcing Rudy Gobert to go one-on-one with D'Lo or Austin Reeves or whatever, and now you're left with AD on a smaller guy, and then at that point it's barbecue chicken for whoever's on AD, or it's barbecue chicken for the guard who Gobert is going to be guard. So that's how you can get play off the court. But as far as like the perimeter play aspect of it, but I think the Lakers would just straight up beat the Timberwolves straight up. Like, it won't be nothing special. It just be like we have more experience than you, is what I would say.
Yeah.
So I just had to look it up real quick. The Lakers are 0-2 against the Timberwolves so far in the regular
That was
season.
when, though? That was like early in the season, right? That was like November?
Ain't too far away.
Man, that was like the beginning of the season, man.
Let me see. Okay, now fine. Okay, the first one was December.
Yeah, see,
when is the second one?
It's old news, man. This shit don't count. If it's before Christmas, it don't count.
Okay. You got it.
Yeah. I not that. I mean, it counts in terms of like the numbers, obviously, but like compare that team, just like last year, that team that got the pieces that came in at the trade deadline compared to the team that was earlier before, it was a night and day difference. And like I said, LeBron, they playing good ball right now. Like I can't hate right now. They playing good ball. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. I just thought about that earlier in the week, and I was like, man, I don't know. I've seen the story before. I trust my two guys who are the president and vice president of the Lakers fan club. So I was like, let me not act foolish for the second straight year. That I do not do. Once I learn my lesson, I'm like, all right, I understand. You can tell me no more. All right, gentlemen. Anything else before we get out of here?
No.
I got something. Shitty. How was the dance practice with Leia?
Oh, it was perfect because I didn't get to watch it, right?
What?
So that's good though, because like, kids need to learn how to be with someone else, especially at that age,
Yeah.
without and feel comfortable,
Yeah.
knowing their parent is around but not there.
Parental
But man,
eyes. Yeah, I got you.
yeah, because I could tell people, moms was out there going to sneak in, aunties and all that.
Mhm.
But when she came out, and I think my wife recorded a video, of course she gave hugs and kisses to her, but then she ran over to me and just kissed me, and she was glad. And then mommy recorded a video of the dances that she actually did that she remembered.
Mhm.
Oh man, melted my heart, dog, for real.
How old is she? Like 3?
She's 3 now. Yep, and she'll be 4 in September.
That's crazy, bro.
Bow-legged as all get out.
So speaking of which, I'm so happy that you brought this up, y'all.
Okay.
Because I as fathers of daughters, right?
Mm-hmm.
A couple days ago, there was a girl who sang the national anthem.
Oh my god!
So I wanted to ask y'all, as fathers of daughters, how do you fake church it like, oh baby, sweetie, you did a good job? Or do you straight up like, baby, like how do you respond to such? I don't even want to say it because I don't want to get canceled, but at the same time, we know what it was like. We heard the video.
Not her best performance.
It wasn't her best performance. So as again, fathers of daughters, how do you respond to such behavior?
I'm gonna let Shitty go first. I'll let Shitty go first.
Sure, I got you. The first thing I would say is I know my daughter, and I know the moment she gets in front of a crowd, she's not going to do well. And that crowd could be 3 people that she don't know. Second of all, the parents have the final say-so on a child doing something. And I wouldn't put my child in that predicament if I knew they weren't ready for that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to leave it at that because I didn't heard all the singing before, whether it was in the shower, outside, at church. Church? Okay. Church. What happened? Me?
Can't see y'all going there.
Oh, okay. Well, stay for a second. Stay for a second. Get hot with it.
Well, but I'm just asking because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have kids in the future, and I'm gonna have to be able to respond when they don't do such a good job.
Me personally, we go into the tape. Like, all right, let's watch the tape. What happened right here? Yeah, like look, I know you off key. That's fine. People get off key sometimes. I mean, we saw Alicia Keys during the Super Bowl. She started off slow, but she got better towards the end. We had Fergie a couple years ago in the All-Star game. All around terrible, But the thing is, you got to be able to face your problems. You got to be able to look at it and say, you know what, I messed up, and how can I get better? That's what I would say. Is well, it depends on her age as well too, because I ain't gonna call her a slaw right now. But I'm like, hey, that was the best performance, dog. Once you get to about 7, 8, 9, like we can get better, man. Let's get better. That's what I would say. Just acknowledge that you didn't do well, and then acknowledge how you can get better. That's what I would do.
Y'all are such good fathers, man. I hope to aspire to be as good as fathers as you guys are. I appreciate the wisdom.
Solid.
Yeah, man. That's what we do here, man. So we do here. All right, y'all. We'll get up out of here. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. So y'all stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.